What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is April 3rd of 2019. Well, folks, I hope you all are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and today we've got a wide range of topics to discuss for cryptocurrency markets. We're not only going to be taking a look at what's been going on over the last 24 to 48 hours in crypto markets, getting an understanding of where we are in the short term and the long term of this amazing price action in crypto, but along with that, we'll dive through some headlines and different opportunities that we're watching at the moment. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. But I want to let you all know, if you guys are in the UK or more specifically in London, I'd love to see you guys tomorrow at Thursday's meetup on the 4th of April at 5:30 at the WeWorks Market Square. We're not only going to be discussing some topics related to Project Genesis, understanding what the project is all about, but also just doing a casual meetup and meeting with others in the London community. So it's free admission. Bring your friends and family. Would love to see you guys out there if you can make it. Alrighty, so taking a look over the market over the last week, we have seen nothing but positivity across the board. In fact, the only things that are really down are a few altcoins like Engine Coin, which are quite overextended over the last few months. But really outside of that, it's just stable coins that are in the red. Everything else is in the green. And this really has to do with the last 2 days of price action. So as Bitcoin was climbing markets yesterday and really kind of leading the dominance, as this seemed to be a new entry of liquidity, a lot of substantial volume coming in, we've now finally started to see altcoins catching up over the last 24 hours. So well-established ones like Bitcoin Cash, which is ranked number 6, Dogecoin as well, starting to make some momentum. Bitcoin SV, Algor, Litecoin, and NEM. So having some of the more established altcoins leading this charge that have well-established market caps, this is giving a sign that we could start to see some serious risk-taking in altcoins. We start to see some leap-ups in some of the other plays. And the reason I stand by that confidence, not only am I just blown away here by the optimism in market capitalization, but there's a few things to take away from some of these major indicators. First off, the uptrend has been substantial here. Usually it turns out to be that when you have these kind of breakouts in markets, these spontaneous rallies, it tends to be that price action will falter afterwards, right? We have a really overextended run-up and you falter on most of the gains here. But we've actually been setting higher lows every single time. And this shows you that altcoins are following. Bitcoin dominance is screaming it, guys. Whereas Bitcoin was leading the market the other day, we went up to around 51.5%. We actually are climbing right back down to the 50% range. And if we break 50%, whether it be the other coins indicated, the really bright blue line here, or some of the more well-established altcoins like Ethereum and XRP, I think we could start to see a serious rally in altcoins here in the short term. A little bit of speculation coming in because people are really excited about this bump up we got yesterday. It has changed so much on the perspective of markets here and where we're expecting Bitcoin to go. So let's go ahead and talk about the short term and the long term, guys. What's my rationale for the short term? The short term is that I think we've got a target over the next month or two to go to 6,000. And I'll explain my rationale for that. In the long term, we are still in the bottoming channel, guys. We're not in, euphoric bull market just yet. And I'll explain that as well. So in the short term, why do I think we're going to 6,000? Well, here's how I think we're going to 6,000. The key thing that I want to factor in here is major key levels here. So 3,000 was where we had our bottom here. This is where we had the first level of resistance in the rally in 2017. The key level of support after the Jamie Dimon and China FUD in the summer and fall of 2017, as well as 6,000 playing a role here. Key level of resistance here, key support level as we had a correction, and then it was the support level for the final rally upwards to 20,000, and played a key role in holding Bitcoin here all throughout most of 2018. So these are the two levels I'm really watching here for Bitcoin. And as we hit 5,000, again, another even level, I think it's very candid in this case that we're going to have the 200-day starting to curve up and a bull flag formulating on the moving average here, finding some support around 4,600 to 4,700. And from there, this is going to provide support and hopefully with substantial volume, enough optimism to start seeing price go throughout May up to 6,000. So about a 2-month period, we could start to see price return up here. Now, do I believe it's going to break 6,000? No, I don't, guys. I don't think we have, unless we have some fundamental developments over the next month or two, I don't think there's enough substantial news to carry it past 6,000. And with this being such a key level of support beforehand, this is going to weigh down as heavy resistance. So what do I think is going to happen in the long term? If we're going to hit this rejection at 6,000 here over the next few months, and again, this is at times away from where we are now, what do I think is going to happen after we hit resistance? Well, I think that we're going to see this come back down and hold on this line of ascending support here. I think we're building a much longer ascending triangle here, and I'll even extend the chart here just to really set in stone what I think is going to happen. I really do believe that somewhere in between this period here, at the end of 2019, we can have the breakout above 6,000. And that's where we can start to really get some optimism for 2020. So as we start to look for more optimistic regulation on potential financial products for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we can start to see some catalysts coming in where institutional money might start to come in for crypto, bringing up prices. We might start to get some better merchant tools and merchant adoption in a variety of emerging economies. We've already seen it in Venezuela, in Argentina. You can go look at the local Bitcoin's volume, guys. It has been a hedge for a lot of people there, and they've started to get a lot of information groups going around talking about how to use it. But I digress. I'm going on a rambling tangent here. The major thing is that I think we're going to hold back down on the 200-day here and climb up higher. Now, why do I have still that idea that we're in the bottoming of this market and that we've got a much wider range than, say, what we had back here, in 2015, where it was between 200 to 300, about a 50% increase from the bottoming price? Well, the reason why I think we have this wider range here in price action is that if we take a look here at a few different indexes, I want to take a look at the NVT. And this really signals where I stand in regards to Bitcoin being a little bit overvalued, especially when it's going to retest that 6,000 range, if it does. The NVT, for those who don't know, is an indicator that signifies the value transfer over the Bitcoin network, how much value is being exchanged on a daily basis. And then also it divides it, in this case, where it's factoring in the other factor, which is the valuation of the entire network, the market capitalization. This has been a time-tested indicator for Bitcoin. It has held a lot of significance. And I know a lot of people who know about NVT signal, or NVT specifically. They always say that, you've got sidechains and Lightning Network coming in. And that is absolutely fair. In fact, it's why I believe, as we've had a rise here in the index, I think you're going to have rising lows here over time. The indicator is going to lose its worth over time. But there is not enough substantial volume on Lightning Network nor sidechains to factor this as a dead indicator. This is extremely important. So as we can see, the NVT, when it's in this range of around, I think it starts at around 140, 145 points, this is when it becomes overextended and overbought. And we can see that it holds in this range for some time. So as we start to get a little bit more transactional volume coming into the actual blockchain of Bitcoin, I think we're going to have some room to hold up in this range and potentially test up to 6,000. Again, we can see that we've got a little bit more room to go, and we can hold in this range for a couple of months, as we saw back here through July to November, when Bitcoin was holding at 6,000. So that's what I think we're going to do. I think we're going to hold up in this range for a while on the NVT, and I think that's going to provide us the substantial amount to correct down on the 200-day and come back up towards previous resistance, or previous support in this case, and turn it into resistance. So that's where I'm looking at Bitcoin, guys. I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but I hope you guys like my rationale. I'd like to know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree. Leave some nice critical feedback in the comments down below whether you like it or not, guys. Would love to hear what you make of this. I think we all need to share our opinions right now. We're all confused. There really is no fundamental reason this happened yesterday. So it's always great to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. So let's get a discussion going. Now I want to take a look at a few other altcoins before we continue on. Ethereum breaking out yesterday in its USD chart. This is really exciting, guys, and the reason why I think altcoins are going to start moving. We got above the 200-day moving average, as well as the other ones, of course, but we've also been holding on this parabolic line of support and breaking out of an ascending triangle. Now, I want to see the close become more substantial on the USD today, so that's going to really depend if Bitcoin will hold up. But again, I like seeing this. We're pretty much above it. We're well above the 200-day. My confidence levels are high. And guys, this is something you need to keep an eye on. XRP, okay? Now, I don't like XRP as a currency personally. I don't really care about it in the long term. But what happened yesterday is very substantial. There's a reason I have this chart up here. This is a short amount of price action for XRP comparative to the US dollar. This is the Coinbase chart here. This is a very similar pattern to what's known as an IPO reversal in traditional markets. It's a sign that optimism is returning to something that has been newly listed a few weeks after it's been initially listed on some kind of exchange. Being listed on Coinbase is a big deal for XRP and for Basic Attention Token, for all these tokens, in the short term and in the long term. Because in the long term, this is going to provide substantial liquidity. In the short term, when you get a pattern like this signals risk-taking, right? Excitement coming in. Now, we're going to take a look at the more substantial trend here for XRP to the USD. Take a look here at this Bitstamp chart. This is one of the oldest price charts we have for XRP. Turn off the moving averages here. Look at that uptrend line, folks. It's been holding it since back here in May of 2017. And as we've had this declining line of resistance, or I like to call it decaying line of resistance, almost like a negative parabolic line, we finally had a breakout. And, oh, sorry, just pulling up my settings there. Doesn't matter what exchange you look at, blowout volume comparative to the previous few months. Really, really nice to see here with a dead quarter one for XRP. This is a momentum play, guys, and we finally had the breakout, and we're holding the vast majority of price action above that line of resistance that's been weighing us down all the way back since September of 2018. I think this is going to make some substantial moves. This is the reason I'm confident that altcoins are going to start moving higher in the short term. I don't think it's December level. No, of course not, guys. But I think we could easily start to see a test of the 50 or 40 cent range, the 45 cent range, 50 cent range, whatever it may be. We've seen that even in a bear market, XRP can move substantially. I think it could do the same here as well. And we can see that it can remain overbought for some time as well. So those are just a few different altcoins, guys. There's a vast other amount out there that are exciting, but I will tell you all, I think that liquidity is going to enter into some of the more established ones at the moment. Small, mid-sized altcoins, those really start to take off when you have the full scale of risk taking, when we start to really enter into a full-fledged bull market. Alrighty, so speaking of XRP as well, not trying to be an XRP shell here, guys. As I told you all, I'm optimistic at this price range, but the big thing that I wanted to mention in regards to news is the fact that the Swiss SIX exchange, which has been launching out financial products for cryptocurrencies, has just launched XRP's financial products. So this is basically functioning like an ETF in a sense, or what's known as an exchange traded product for the Switzerland primary stock exchange. So being one of the largest in the world, this is giving some crypto exposure to Swiss investment banks, a lot of different financial players in the space. Now, of course, this isn't as substantial as a US traded ETF, but like we've seen with the Ethereum product that they launched and the Bitcoin product they launched, this is good news for cryptocurrencies. It's starting to add more liquidity in the space, starting to get more people trading in the institutional space. So it wouldn't add direct liquidity into the crypto space. I want to clarify on that. What it does add is price discovery, because if you start to have enough institutional volume, you start to find arbitrage opportunities between these different markets. And no matter if it's direct liquidity to crypto, you have liquidity in another market that's trading off of these products. If institutions start buying up the XRP ETF or ETP in this case, you start to have other markets starting to arbitrage and starting to correct and find that price stability between both different traded products, the actual XRP on exchanges and then also the ETP. So just want to clarify that. I think some people have been like, oh, this is bad for crypto markets. It's not really. It's the same with futures in that case. Markets tend to follow one another, and sometimes one market can lead and then the other one starts to correct and follow. Alrighty, so taking a look here as well, this has been some funny news in crypto markets. Elon Musk has been, an absolute shill for Dogecoin this past week, calling it his favorite cryptocurrency. And not only this, as we've seen Dogecoin starting to move over the last few days, or moon should I say, he has now put former CEO of Dogecoin as his Twitter handle and has shared a variety of articles and memes in regards to Doge. So this is not a surprise. Elon loves to be trendy and hip with the internet and meme culture, and is just, I think, very lovable by a lot of people who like what Tesla and SpaceX is doing. Doesn't matter what your opinion is on them, guys. This has played a big role on Dogecoin moving. So if we take a look, I almost typed the full word of Dogecoin. If we take a look at Doge USD on the Poloniex, we can see that this is starting to pick up. Now, the range that I'm watching for here for Dogecoin is probably entering into somewhere where we've seen resistance previously, around 0.6 of a cent, and I think we could easily climb there. But it really depends how long we can remain this overbought on Dogecoin. So even though we're not in a full-scale bull market, we've seen price action come up to this range before. I think we can easily see it for Dogecoin here, but have not built any positions just yet. So anyways, that's going to be it for the video, guys. We've talked about most of the major things in the market. Again, not many big fundamental news or big developments in the crypto space. Just really, I think, some speculators coming back in. I think we're on our way, to seeing a test of 6,000. That's what I'm looking forward to. But until the next video, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay tuned.